Hello everyone, welcome to this channel English Easy Solution. This video is about error correction and how accurate your grammar and vocabulary is. So let's start.
Let's see how accurate your grammar is. I will give you a test which contains some very common grammatical mistakes. Some of these grammar rules are not very advanced. Intermediate learners of English are more likely to make them. But if you are advanced, you might be making them as well. It's good to have a review from time to time. First, I will show you the sentences one by one, and you decide if they're grammatically correct. And then I will give you the answers and the explanations. Let's look at the first sentence. Is this sentence correct? We had such a nice weather last week. Yes or no? If it's not correct, where is the mistake? Let's look at the next one. Yesterday was such a beautiful day, wasn't it? Is that sentence correct? They invited my wife and I to dinner. What do you think? Is that sentence correct? How about this one? My doctor told me that I have to exercise more and I don't have to smoke. Is that sentence correct? What do you plan to study? I plan to study or biology or mathematics. Is that sentence correct? How about this one? I don't speak French. Neither am I. What do you think? Let's look at the next one. I have never been to Alaska. I haven't either. Is that correct? Look at the next one. Do I have to do all of these difficult homeworks? Is that correct? Let's look at the next one. Thank you for the excellent advices. They really helped me. Is that sentence correct? Have you ever been to New York? Yes. I've been there 3 years ago. Is that correct? How about this one? I want to help you. Please let me to help you. Let's look at this sentence. If you're too busy to do it, you should have someone else to do it for you. Is that sentence correct? What do you think? How about this sentence? Where is your car? It's being fixed. It'll be ready next week. Is that correct? Let's look at this sentence. I saw that film 3 times last month. Let's look at the next sentence. I forgot his name. Please remember me his name. Is that correct? How do you think you did? Did you catch all of the mistakes? All right, now I will give you the answers and the explanations. Let's look at this sentence again. We had such a nice weather last week. That is not correct. Where is the mistake? The article should not be there. We need to say such nice weather. And I know some of you may be thinking, wait a minute, we say such a nice day, such a good job, such an expensive car, so why not such a nice weather? Because weather is an uncountable noun. The other examples I gave you were countable nouns. With an uncountable noun, we don't use the article a. Let's practice some more examples with such or such a. How about the word meal? What do we say? Such a good meal or such good meal? Meal is a countable noun, so we say that was such a good meal. How about students? Students is plural, and with plural nouns we never use a, so we can say they are such good students. How about this sentence? Yesterday was such a beautiful day, wasn't it? That's correct. We use a because day is a singular countable noun. How about this sentence? They invited my wife and I to dinner. For a lot of people, that may sound right, but actually, that's not correct. The correct answer is they invited my wife and me to dinner. Let me explain. Me is an object pronoun, and I is a subject pronoun. And here is the easiest way to know if we can use a subject pronoun or an object pronoun. Let's take out my wife and now the sentence says, they invited I to dinner. Does that sound correct? No, it's supposed to be, they invited me to dinner. So now we know that the correct answer is, they invited my wife and me to dinner. So when you're trying to figure out whether you're supposed to say he or him, or they or them, or I or me, that's how you can know. And just as a quick review, the subject pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. And the object pronouns are me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. Can we say him and her invited me? No, because all of those are object pronouns. We need to say he and she invited me, because he and she are subjects and me is an object. Be careful about that one. Some native speakers make mistakes on that, so as I always say, be careful about who you imitate. All right, let's go on to the next one. My doctor told me that I have to exercise more and I don't have to smoke. Is that correct? No, it's not. The opposite of have to isn't don't have to. It's must not. So, have to and don't have to have very different meanings. Be careful. We can say you have to work, you have to eat. That means it's necessary. You must do these things. But if you say you don't have to, that means it's your choice. You can do it or not. For example, it's the weekend. I don't have to get up early, but if I want to, I can. I have an option. Let's look at these three examples with the verb to eat. You have to eat to live, right? But we can say, you don't have to eat it if you don't like it. And that means it's not required. But look at this one. You must not eat those mushrooms. They're poisonous. So we don't say, you don't have to eat those mushrooms. They're poisonous. That's incorrect. Remember, the negative of have to is not don't have to. It's must not. How about this sentence? Is it correct? What do you plan to study? I plan to study or biology or mathematics. That is incorrect because we don't use or two times. We don't use it for both things. We say either or. Maybe in your language you can use the translation of the word or two times, but not in English. For example, when will you do it? I will do it either today or tomorrow. What are you going to have for dinner? I'm not sure yet. Either fish or steak. Don't say or fish or steak. You can also use either this way. Which one do you want? Either one. Either one will be fine. That means I'm okay with this one and I'm okay with that one. Either one. Is this sentence correct? I don't speak French. Neither am I. No, it's not correct. Why not? The auxiliary verbs don't match. Pay attention to that. We can say, I don't speak French, neither do I. Or we can say, I can't speak French, neither can I. They must match. I didn't speak French, neither, you finish it. Neither did I. How about this one? I haven't spoken French in a long time. You finish it? Neither have I. I know what some of you are asking yourselves. What about either? Can I use either? Yes, but with a negative auxiliary. Let's look at this example. I don't understand. You could say, Neither do I, or if you want to say either, you have to use it like this. I don't either. I don't understand. I don't either. So we use the negative auxiliary with either. But with neither, you can't use a negative. That would be like a double negative. That's one way you could view it. Let's try that in the future tense. I won't speak French at the meeting tomorrow. And the other person says, neither will I. Neither will I. Or if we want to say either, what do we say? I won't either. I won't either. And both of those are okay. You can say neither will I or I won't either. Let's practice a few more. I won't do it. Neither will I. I won't either. How about this one? I can't do it. Let's use neither first. Neither can I. Let's use either. I can't either. Let's do it in the past tense now. I didn't do it. Neither did I. I didn't either. Let's use the auxiliary have. I haven't done it. Neither have I. I haven't either. Is this sentence grammatically correct? I have never been to Alaska. I haven't either. Yes, it is correct. We have two auxiliary verbs with have. How about this one? Do I have to do all of these difficult homeworks? Is that correct? What do you think? No, it's not correct. Homework is a non-countable noun. We can fix the mistake by removing the S of homework, and then we have to change these to the singular form and say this. Do I have to do all of this difficult homework? Even though you have a lot of homework, we still have to say this and not these because it's an uncountable noun. So remember, no S in homework, it's an uncountable noun. And some other common mistakes with uncountable nouns include vocabulary. We don't say vocabularies, furniture, luggage, and so on. We can't say these furnitures. We have to say this furniture, even though there are a lot of different pieces of furniture. So if you would like to make it plural, you have to say it like this. I bought 3 pieces of furniture. I bought a sofa and a table and a chair. I bought 3 pieces of furniture. Let's look at the next one. Have you ever been to New York? Yes, I've been there 3 years ago. That's not correct. The correct answer is I was there 3 years ago. We specified the time. We said when it happened. We said 3 years ago. In that case, we must use the past simple tense. Have you ever seen that film? Yes, I have. I saw it last week. It would be incorrect to say I have seen it last week because we are specifying when it happened. So when you mention the time, last week, last year, 5 minutes ago, you must use the past simple tense and never the present perfect tense. So we can say, I've been to New York. It's a great city. I was in New York last month. Let's look at the next one. Is this sentence grammatically correct? I want to help you. Please let me to help you. No, it's not. It's incorrect. We don't use to after let. So we say, I let him do it. We don't say, I let him to do it. They let me go there. He let me use his car. With most other verbs, we use to. For example, I allowed him to do it. They permitted him to go there. He expected me to finish it. Other verbs where you can't use to are have and make. We can say, I had my mechanic check the car. I had him check it. To have somebody do something means to convince somebody to do something or to arrange for somebody to do something. I had him check my car. But of course, you know about have to. For example, I have to do it. That means I am required to do it. I'm obligated to do it. That's a very different meaning. To have someone do something versus to have to do something. Those are very different, right? So now you know the answer to the next question. Look at this sentence. If you're too busy to do it, you should have someone else to do it for you. Of course, that's incorrect because we cannot use to with have when it means you're going to arrange for someone to do something. All right, let's go on to the next one. Where is your car? It's being fixed. It'll be ready next week. Is that correct? Yes, it is. This is a present continuous passive voice. It's being fixed. And it'll be ready is future. Perfectly correct sentence. How about this sentence? Is this sentence grammatically correct? I saw that film 3 times last month. Yes, that's correct. We specified last month. We said when it happened. But if we don't say when it happened, we use the present perfect tense. I have seen that film 3 times. I have eaten at that restaurant several times. But look at this. I ate at that restaurant several times last year, or last month, or in November. If we specify the time in the past, then we must use the past simple tense. Be careful about that. In most other languages, there's usually only one past tense for those two different situations. Is this sentence correct? I forgot his name. Please remember me his name. That's incorrect. The correct answer is, I forgot his name. Please remind me of his name. Don't confuse remember and remind. Simply put, to remember is the opposite of to forget. But to remind is to make sure that somebody else doesn't forget something. For example, please remind me to take out the trash. I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. How did you do? If your English is advanced, I expect that you maybe made 1 or 2 mistakes maximum. But if you're at the intermediate level, it's possible that you made 4 or 5 mistakes or even more. Good grammar is important, and speaking English well and correctly is very important. It'll make you feel a lot more confident when you know that the grammar that you're using is correct. So I suggest that you continue working on your grammar skills, either with a good grammar book or with a private tutor. When you're speaking English with correct grammar, it's going to make you feel a lot more confident about your English. Thanks for watching and keep practicing your English.
For more such videos, you can check the playlist Grammar and Vocabulary. Thank you and subscribe, share.